Okay, gonna take the old laptop keyboard off and put a new one on a Thinkpad Yoga X1 Gen 1. Keys are coming off and some of them are sticking. Unlike my T16 or some of the other models, this thing you have to take apart a lot to get this keyboard out to put the new one in. So I might as well record it so I remember how to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws to take off. Phillips head. Okay, so it looks like maybe they loosen, but they don't come all the way out. I have a little plastic pry tool. Now that the screws are all loosened, open this back here. And that's easy. Okay. All the screws are still in there, just loosened. Okay, step 1, back covers off. Step 2, take the battery off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. Looks like these are coming out. We got it unscrewed. We're going to come over here with some tweezers. Push this little sides of this little plug back. There we go. Now we're going to remove these speakers from either side of the battery. Oops, forgot a screw. Which means I took a screw out from somewhere else. Okay. So the speaker wire is underneath, over and under the tabs of the battery. Under, over, under, over. All the way down. It's under it, over it, under it. So, and then they're both under right here. So now we're going to lift this paper here. And we have to get this little battery connector out. Not exactly sure how it's in there. I think it pops in. There it goes. It's pressed down in there. Notice how the wires are zigzagged in there just right. There we go. That disconnects the battery. And we're going to lift and remove the battery away from the slot. There we go. Ooh, look at that. That's a little dirty. Wonder what that is. That's weird. Next thing is to remove the cooling fan. These 4 screws. These screws have a much bigger head, and let's see, I must have to take this one out. Oh, it's plugged in here. We have to pull it in this direction. So we need to pull this out. I have to study that a little bit more, see how that, maybe it flips up. The wires are in the way. Maybe it goes up this way. Here it goes. Flips up. Now that should pull out this whole fan contraption. There we go. Okay. Okay, now we have a wireless chip here. We have to unscrew it and then pull these little gold connectors. The screw head looks like it's stripped out. So we have to try to replace that. Now, these should, I don't think they pull out, I think they pull up. Yeah, they twist up. There we go. And that should pull out. Okay. Now we're going to remove the hard drive right here. That's a screw that comes all the way out. And then we're going to slide the hard drive out of this tab. And the sleeve on it, but it pulls out. We keep that away from the magnet. Now we're going to remove the motherboard, system board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 connections we have to remove. Tabs up. Nothing in this one. This one here comes up in this direction. And then this one over here. Not sure where it is exactly. I'm going to study this. Okay, I just pulled this tape away. It's this little tab here. It was down and I lifted it up. So I've got it all disconnected. And we're going to pull the cables out of the slots. Okay. Okay. I have 4 of them. Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skipping 6. Still got to get 7. And then one over here. The wire's out of the way. I think it's underneath this plastic. Let's study it. Okay, it's coming in the back side over here. There we go. And finally this one. There's a little plastic tab here. Let me see. When they're difficult to get out, they can be more difficult to get back in. Of course, I could just try to lift it and maybe it'll fall out. But I'm not seeing. It's one of these tabs. I'm going to use my fingernail. There it goes. Got it out. Okay, I have all the tabs disconnected. Oh, brother. So there's 16 screws to pull out now. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6. 7, 8, 9. 10. I wonder what is. Maybe I got that one. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Joy. Okay, so far these 2 screws and this one have these ones like a 1/4 inch. This screw right here was real tiny, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that are much bigger. I remember where that tiny one came from. It actually may be this hole. So this one, this one, this one, this one are all of these larger screws. Big heads on them. Okay, and then these 2 were sort of the medium ones. So we got these about maybe 1/4 inch long with some blue goop on the threads. Got these really large headed ones over here. And then we have 4 tiny ones and then 1 silver one. Okay. I found another tiny one here. I forgot. Tiny screw. So it says 16 screws, but since that one didn't have anything in it, I've got 15. Interesting. Okay, now we're going to lift system board out. Should be free. Maybe we start at one side. Ah, have another screw here. It's a medium screw. Be careful if it's binding. It feels like something's still screwed in here. Maybe it's the tape. Ah, another screw. I guess there's another screw here. Well, I could feel the whole board loosen up. Should have drawn a diagram for the size of the screws. Now I'm going to have to go back and look at the recording, see which screw goes where. There we go. Come on out. All right. All disconnected system board. A little dust on there. Oh my gosh. 23 screws to get the keyboard off. Hey, where'd that come from? Well, I certainly wasn't paying attention where that was. Let's go look, see where it came from. I think it just fits underneath some holes in the system board to help brace it. One, two, three, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All those black-headed screws. These are real tiny screws. That flathead, I'm just going to keep them separate here. That's a little frame that holds that on. Okay. I think I'm going to annotate this because this is it's a much smaller screw head. I'm going to draw a picture for this. So I labeled them 1 and 2. One with a little larger head. Got 1, then a 2, then a 1, then a 2. I've got another 2 back here. Here. I don't see a screw in here. Maybe I took it off. 4. These are the smaller number 2s. So I've got 4 of the number 2 screws on the back. And another one here. And where's this one? That's actually even different. That's a different screw, number 3. Oh, it's one of these silver screws. Maybe that's what I took out over here before. Okay, yeah, that's a silver. So that went here. So it probably goes here also. Looks like we got a small one here. Number 2 screw. Then the bigger one. Should be the flathead. Yeah, number 1. One right next to it. Number 2 screw. Whoops, stuck. Put that down. And one of the big-headed ones. Yeah, some of the screws are holding the keyboard in, and then some of them are holding this little frame for the keyboard. Okay, then we got 1, 2, 3. These are the number 2s. Looks like we got, I don't know if those are the same, maybe a couple more up front here. And then I've had 1, 2, 3, 4 of the flatter screws, but they look like they're stainless as opposed to black. So 4th type of screw that I marked down here. And then 2 more tinies. That'll be 2 and 2. That's gently pull on it. Make sure. I don't know how this comes out. I hope I don't have to take these corners out. So I don't know if I just lift this away. It seems like it's underneath this corner. That's that. Okay, I got it. Remember, I was looking for it where it's binded. These little wires, ribbon cables are taped on here. They're holding it down. Oh, there we go. So let's put this under here. Pull this one up carefully without breaking it. Come out wherever you are. Okay, I guess that went here. Just binding in these corners right here. Time to study it. Okay, I use this blue tool. Once I got this off of the top here, it started moving better. Now I need to do it on this side. There we go. That little pin there, those get clipped in the side. That's apparently you have to push it in and then push down on it. There's one here and here. Little metal pins. Here's the old keyboard. Let's blow this off a little bit without blowing our screws away. Piece of plastic tab. I don't repair laptops that often. I burn out a couple doing stuff and then the wire shorted out. But I do know it seems like whenever you start taking these things apart with plastic tab, little pieces fall off. But you know what? This is the only time I'm going to change this laptop. It's probably about 7 years old. And so if it goes out again, or I can't get it back together, it's time for a new one. But it was an expensive one. It's got a touch screen on it. High resolution. Okay, so now I have to do it in the opposite direction. And hopefully it gets back together and it works. So we're going to slide this in. Yeah, so these has to go under here. And those black metal pins, I'm going to curve this a little bit. Get this side in. First get it underneath here. Come on, girl. And I know it's far enough in when these line up with the holes. Wow. How's that possible? And put down like that. I put one keyboard in. It was a lot easier than this one and one Thinkpad. Put it back together. The whole thing was bulging. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to take it all apart. Because I didn't have it snapped in correctly. It would be nice too to put the keyboard in and then try it out without having to reassemble so much, but can't do it without a system board and hard drive and all that. Don't really like the engineering on this, but it's the lady's laptop. Gotta get it fixed. There's no way it's worth paying to have such an old laptop, even though it's a good laptop. See how long it's taken me. Somebody more skilled will go a lot faster, but you know, you're gonna want $200, $300 or more $100. I can almost buy a new laptop for that. Okay, I saw something here. See on the board, there's these little arms on here. Well, they have to, especially on this one, has to go underneath this little black tab. Start messing around with that over here. It wasn't underneath here, and so this wasn't low enough. Now I've got it low enough, and I'll start screwing it back in. Got my little instruction sheet of where I got all the screws from. Good to have a magnetic screw. They aren't plastic screws. My bit's magnetized, so it's making it a little bit easier to go on. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I have 4 2s back here. Okay, I had to loosen these up because this little brace popped up. And I better get it down. Put these in, but I see a little bump here. So I'm going to take a break and take a look to see. This is off, like it's less than 1/8 of an inch. It needs to go back. These lined up, so yeah, I hear that click. This, I don't know if it's made like that. There's something underneath that tab though. It could be just wires underneath there. So it's not just a bump from this thing. It's elevated. So I'm going to go back and watch some videos, take a break, make sure I'm putting this thing back together correctly. Also, I almost screwed it all back together with these wires underneath here, so these have to stay on the top. Yeah. Okay, let's go over these. The screw I call number 2. On the front, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wrote it on my chart here. And then the screw I called number 4, they're shiny. There's 1, 2, 3. I'd called out 4 of them, but there's only 3 holes for them. You have some more here. I didn't take those out. So maybe I was looking at one of these other ones, but there's 1, 2, 3 here. Then there's a number 1 screw, with the black one with the big head. There's 1, 2 here. Back to the number 2 screw, the tiny ones, there's 1, 2 here. In the back, I think I took a screw out. I said it was silver with blue gunk on it on the previous step. That maybe I didn't need to. So I'm going to leave that out because I didn't put it back in. But the number 2 screws, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And then it's that one that I took out here that I put back in here already. I called it the number 3 silver screw. On here we have a number 2, a number 1, a number 2, and a number 1. Everything went in nicely. I did go back and loosen everything up because this one I had to push in at an angle and then straighten it up, and it went in fine. So everything's lined up pretty nice right now. I'm going to finish off cleaning this up, spray some air into these inputs. The fan was dirty. I could see a bunch of dust in there. Now I'm going to put the system board back on, and I looked at a couple of resources online. They didn't show this piece. And when I took the system board out, it was just laying there, but I figured it goes here. See how these are offset? These are wider than this one. They kind of fit, these little dimples fit in those holes. I guess it just elevates it on off the bottom right there. So I got to make sure when I put this back in, that looks like this right here. Okay, let's put the system board back on. When we start this, you have to remember the ports have to line up with their holes on each side. And look for the key places where these tabs are screwed in. So I'm going to lean that one in a little bit and bend it a little bit so this one goes down. There we go. Push this down and look on the side. All the ports are lined up. And on this side, like you just keep pushing, it'll snap in. You have to make sure these two cables are out. This one I pulled off. This cable is up and this cable is up. Now we're going to review which of the screws go where before we start screwing. By the way, when I put the keyboard in, I told you earlier, this had fallen out. It's like a little peg. No clue where it goes. So, as far as I'm concerned, they could have saved a penny on that one. Okay, we're going to start with the 5 screws. One goes here. Let's see, what am I putting on? One goes here, one goes here, one goes here, one goes here, and one goes over here. So those are the 5 screws I pulled off first. Had the blue thread stuff on them. And these are marked, should have mentioned, there's a little triangle where these 5 go. Got one more to put on. Nice little click, seats everything. One thing to keep in mind is to pay particular attention to these cables. Make sure they're not bound in any way coming out of this little hinge cover. Been there, done that. Also make sure your cables go back up and over. There's little clips back here all the way down. I had to take this screw back out. Come in here and press down because I think that's HDMI. It wasn't lined up. And that screw was going in crooked. I couldn't get it flush, so when I pulled the screw out and pressed down on here, I heard another click. Now apparently I didn't have to take these 4 out because they actually, no wonder the one video didn't show that being removed. To actually hold that little brace on, so. You don't have to take these off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the largest screws. Now we're going to put these back in. Let's see, where's my tool? So this little thing goes up. These teeth on this blue part get bent in. Like that. Push it down and then push that thing down and lock it in. Same with this one. The tab comes up. Lock it in. Okay, I lifted the tape all the way off the glue, pressed it all the way up underneath this tab, and it lined up perfectly in terms of this direction. Close it. Have to redo this one and glue it. Push it all the way in. Close it. Do this one again. Lift it up. Push it all the way up in there. close it. Push the tape back down and stick it again. Okay, well those were the hardest things of this project so far, is getting these cables back in just right, especially this one. These went in okay once I figured out how to align them. That one was a little booger. I hope I got it in right. Only one way to find out. Turn it on, smoke test. Put this little bracket back on here with 2 of the screws. All lined up. Now we're going to connect the LCD and camera cables back in. You got little copper strips down here. They have to go not underneath the whole mounting bracket, but just underneath the lip. There we go. That's satisfying. So always look for a snap or some piece to be hidden. These 2 wires are going to be for the Wi-Fi card, I believe. And it's straight. Got that one. Okay, yeah, this is, one of these is screen and one of these is camera. Not sure which is which. They look very similar. There it goes in. Got some tape here, it has to go back down. I always wonder also, they spec it out and like, nope, we need a piece of tape on this one. But not on this one. Honey. Now we're going to put the wireless card back in. Okay. Yeah, this is that screw that was messed up. And put a different one on and then go search for a replacement. And then I believe the black wire. Where'd the other wire go? Let's study it. Okay, well, problem. Looks like when this one came off, popped the whole connector off with it. Right off the board. This is supposed to just come on here. There's like a battery terminal cable almost. It just goes on top of this little knob and presses on. But there isn't the second one here. There's that little thing that was on the Wi-Fi board. It popped off. Stuck inside that hole. Great. See that little knob? One next to it's missing. I'm going to call giving up on this. I spent a half hour trying to get these back on here. That's the old card. Looked online. My suggestion when you take this apart is don't pull these off. Try to leave them on when you pull the card out. So I'm going to go with the USB Wi-Fi. I have one. I'm not going to go with the built-in, so I guess I have to take these off. Waste of time on that. Let's put the battery back in. Looks like this thing just is going to pop in here. Okay, we got it at a good angle. Dang, it doesn't want to go in. Insert at an angle. Oh, there it goes. Insert and push back and then push down. Insert this bottom edge, slide it back, and then push this top one down. Joy. All right, we're gonna put this fan back in, and it's gonna clip in here. Like this pops up. Something pops up. Okay, there we go. We're going to flip this front up like that. And this little cable is going to slide in here. There we go. Cover it. Okay. And we're going to tighten these screws up. They are numbered. You notice that 4, 2, 3, 1. That's the order you're supposed to put them in. Started putting a speaker back in. Put in here and put 2 screws. And the wire coming out under the tab, over the tab. This little trough here. Under, over, under, over, under. Looks like there's 2 unders, and this has to go back now to the back side of the battery, which goes in, under, over. Make sure you get this in here so that wire doesn't pinch anywhere. It's going to come back around here. And recall, right, this is going to connect up in here, and this is going to screw in. Not that way. Right, like that. So we're going to make sure the wire's right. Over, under. And let's see, I think the wires are going to go in first. Maybe underneath this right here. That must go underneath here. Something like that. Let's double check videos. Okay, we're going to just screw these 2 in over here also. That wire out of the way. And then these are going to come right along here. And go under this tab. Both of them right here. like that. Under here. Come on, get in there. There we go. And that's going to go back into this little connector. I push this back in, and we want the red and black to be to the right, this side. That's the battery power to the system board. And it just lays like that. Maybe I was supposed to put the hard drive in sooner, but I forgot about it. It's going to slide in here. And then there's a screw to hold it in place. Yeah, it's one of the big flat heads. Okay. I have to tape that down somewhere. Maybe it'll just fit underneath the cover. Is that everything except the Wi-Fi card? I am going to lay this on here and turn it back over, turn it on, and do a smoke test. Where does she turn this on? There we go. Got a screen. Might beep because it's missing the Wi-Fi card, not sure. All right. Put the top on and just screwed all the built-in screws. Looks like it's good to go. Cleaned it up a little bit. This is the Lenovo site I used specific to this laptop to replace the keyboard. You can see how many steps are in here. It's quite a bit. I've been using Thinkpads for years and years. I'm not a computer repairman. I'm just a DIY guy in terms of replacing this keyboard. It's certainly the most amount of steps I've had to perform. It's a great laptop functionally. As I mentioned, it's very lightweight, very fast, high-res touchscreen. But I don't know if it was Gen1 if that made it sort of a bit over-engineered from my perspective in terms of something like the keyboard. Keyboards go out. Maybe the later versions are better, but got it finished. Here's the little USB stick I got. TP-Link Archer Wi-Fi 6. It's faster than the one that was inside. And the one inside didn't do Wi-Fi 6, so it's $29.